I'm going to meet today and pay my respect to the elders, past and present, who may be here today. And before I begin this presentation, I want to take you back in time. So I want you to imagine that you're roughly 7 years old, and for whatever reason, you're moving to a new country and you're about to start school there. The special thing about the school is that you don't know anyone there. You don't speak the language, you don't know the culture, and you don't know what Lion King is. So as you can imagine, your first couple of days are a bit rough. You know, you're getting used to the new uniform, new timetable. But then after a few weeks, you realize that a few of the kids don't want to play with you, or they don't invite you out of things. And as a 7-year-old, you don't know why that is. Like, why do these kids don't want to play with me? And this continued on my journey. You know, I went up to school. I had a thought, I lost it, I'm coming to it. No, so basically I started thinking it was because of who I was. I started to believe it was because of who I was. So I started wearing full-sleeve jeans and full-sleeve shirts to, you know, hide my hairy arms, my hairy legs, and to hide my brown skin. And I completely segregated myself from my background, my Indian background. If I was young, you would not guess I was born in India. I was born in India, I was raised there. You would not have guessed that when I was young. So, you know, I had all these negative self-talk going on, and eventually got to this point where if I was outside, if I were at school, I was this one personality, or this one identity that had all these filters up, who would have been comfortable with their background, and would just be uncomfortable in such situations. Well, if I was at home, I was this type of person who had no filters on and would just be themselves. And throughout my schooling, I constantly had this battle between these two identities, you know, picking and choosing, like, do I want to be that person? And I remember this one particular instance in Year 8 maths class, where a few of the kids were picking on me for the past couple of weeks, you know, calling me things like curry muncher, or that I smell like curry, or that my parents work at Telstra. You know, I'm guessing we're all Indian curries here, I'm guessing we all face that, and combine all those things that made me feel uncomfortable with the identity crisis I had going, all of that just bubbled up within me. And for some reason, I built up the courage to speak up. So I went up to my teacher and told him that, you know, there's these few kids who've been making all these racist remarks and just made me feel uncomfortable and welcomed, just not accepted in the classroom. And to this day, this gets me that my teacher told me that the things that the students were saying weren't racist, and that I should ignore them, rather than inviting the students over and having an open conversation. And I remember sitting at lunchtime being filled with disbelief, anger, frustration, that the one person I felt like I could rely on, reach out for help, completely abandoned. So I go home that night, I start questioning my teachers, I start questioning myself, like, was it the right thing to speak up, was it the right thing? I just started questioning myself. And I remember having this epiphany that, what am I doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you being forced to pick between these two different identities? Why are you being afraid to show your culture, you know, the thing that makes you you? Like, what are you doing, bro? So I go on YouTube, I go on Google, just start researching different things until I have this breakthrough and I shift my mindset that I should embrace who I am and love myself. And since that day forwards, I've been on this journey to accept the fact that I'm Indian and that I have a long name. My real name is like 14 letters, that's why it says Kano. And that, you know, I have hairy arms and legs, and then I have brown skin. And I've never felt more comfortable in my own skin. And I believe that's because I'm being my true identity, and I'm being my true self. And I feel like being your true self is so important at a young age, where we're meeting people from different communities, we're meeting people from different walks of life. We're all in our little groups, somewhere, somehow. We're all seeing our people from high school, friends in college, just doing different things. And, you know, and we're all trying to pursue our different careers or pathways. And if we feel like we don't fit in somewhere, or that, you know, we're not living up to our expectations, we might change who we are and adopt these fake personalities or these identities, you know, which truly doesn't represent us for the sake of fitting in. because it's comfortable. To which I say, never ever change who you are for anything or anyone. Because being yourself is the true power. Because I can honestly say that if I hadn't overcome those obstacles when I was younger, and if I hadn't became comfortable with being myself, I would have held myself back from so many opportunities, including this one to come speak to you guys today. So now I want to change gears almost and talk about what does it mean to be your true identity. I've been on this journey of self-discovery, of being the real me, and one of the questions I get asked often is, how do you know that you're being your true identity? How do you know you are being you? To which I say, it's about being self-aware that you are being you. Mindfuck, that makes no sense. But let me break it down real quick. Pretty much, what makes all of us humans amazing is that we're all individuals. We're all unique. And that's thanks to our DNA or that spirit. You know that thing within us that just makes us different from one another, right? That special thing. I don't know what it is, but it just makes us different. And once we start uncovering that, we start exploring that, we start to see our strengths, our weaknesses, those little things, that tick us off, those little quirks that those weird quirks that we have. We start to realize that, and we embrace them, and that's where we become ourselves. And that's again, back to my point, being yourself is the true power. Now let me throw an abstract example. Everyone know Usain Bolt? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I had this thought the other day that, I was in the train, scrolling through Instagram, and I saw, those motivational pages, you gotta wake up at 5 o'clock every day, you gotta read 23 books a week, you gotta hustle 24/7, boom. And so I applied that logic to, my situation. Let's say I wanted to become the fastest person in the world, beat Usain Bolt's record. So let's say I wake up at 5 o'clock, scratch that, let's make it 3 o'clock, because The Rock wakes up at 3 o'clock apparently. So, let's make it about 3 o'clock, chug down 20 raw eggs, protein, shakes, I don't know, whatever The Rock does. Let's say I've done 20 100-meter sprints, repeat that like 25,000 times, and then I'd go home, read a book about how to run fast, or Usain Bolt's bibliography, put a podcast on, get the best coaches in the world, get the best diet, hit the gym. Then after a few years, let's say, I try to break his record. But I think we all know that I'm probably not going to be able to break his record. Because what Usain Bolt has, I simply don't have. He has the genetics, he has the DNA that makes Usain Bolt Usain Bolt. The same way, I could be the top 10% of the fastest rower, top 5 in the world, top 3, but I just won't be able to beat Usain Bolt. Because that's just not me. Same way, if Usain Bolt got all the resources, all the best things in the world, and he, let's say, try to beat Sachin Tendulkar's record, he's just not going to be able to. Because what makes Sachin is his identity, it's his DNA, it's his genetics. Obviously with hard work. And what makes Usain is his genetics, his DNA. And those two have achieved amazing feats in their lives because they have been themselves. They've just played off their strengths, they've played off what makes them them. That's why, again, back to my point, being yourself is the true power. And again, all of this just comes back to doing what's right by you. So, if waking up at 5 o'clock isn't your thing, it's not your thing. There's people who wake up at 12 p.m. and work till 9. It's completely fine. It's just because a famous person's done it, or, it's been said on the Instagram post, it doesn't necessarily have to be true. Play by because all of us are unique. What you have, it's completely different to what I have. And one of the person that comes to mind, I'm sure all of you guys will know, is Gary Vaynerchuk. The man doesn't read any business books or self-growth books. He learns by experience. He learns by doing. And that he's figured that out. That's his identity. That's his DNA. So I encourage you all to just explore. Expose yourself. Become vulnerable. I love what you did today. Be vulnerable. Expose yourself to different things. Expose yourself to different opportunities. Because you start to learn about yourself and you start to see the bigger picture of who you actually are. Again, back to my point, being yourself is the true power. And whatever goals you have, money, girls, or whatever it is, your goals, ambitions, you will achieve that. But let me bring it back a second. I want you to reflect on who you are. Do you feel comfortable with the person you are? Do you feel like it truly represents you? Because again, apart from all the goals, all the ambitions, all the money, all that jazz, being yourself is the key to happiness. Right? We all, at the end of the day, we all just want to be ourselves. You know, whether that's be playing sports, whether that's doing business, music, whatever it is. You know, doing something sciencey, saving cancer. You know, finding an antidote for that. Wherever it is, we just want to be ourselves. Not live by these fake expectations or these fake identities. So I encourage you all to just be yourselves, and just simply by reflecting. Reflect on who you are, just reflect. Right? And if you've never reflected, that is perfectly fine. We can start from today, from this point onwards. Or you're in the train home, or if you're just talking to someone, just reflect on what you did today. Do you feel comfortable with the clothes you wear, or how you show yourself? Do you feel like it represents you? So ultimately, we can all be our true identities, so we can all be our true selves, and we can all love each other.